Good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start the session. The PDF for today's session has already been uploaded. You can download the PDF from our Telegram group. For today's session has already been uploaded. You can download from our Telegram group. Let's see what exactly is there for us in today's newspaper. So Suvind, Chahat, Kim Jong, good morning. Let's see what exactly is there. Chetu, good morning. चलिए इस सेशन को शुरू करेंगे अभी. I won't be able to show the complete newspaper today, so we will be just picking up things that are important for us in today's newspaper. सिर्फ उन्हीं चीज़ों को आज हम कवर करेंगे which are important, which are there in this PPT. So let's start the session with this explanation. So N.R. Narayan Murthy, now he is one of the founders of Infosys. Okay, he is one of the founders of Infosys, and he stated that the real power of money is the power to give it back. The real power of money is the power to give it away. It primarily means that money making is not bad. Okay, whatever profit excuse me, whatever profit that you are making, at least excuse me, so guys, I am not feeling well today. Whatever profit you are making, some amount of it you should give it back to the society. This is what primarily means. Now you need to understand there is a concept called CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. It is based on this idea that at the end of the day, the profit that these corporates are making, this profit is coming from the society. Because these corporates, they are using the resources of the society, be it human resource, be it material resource, be it human resource, be it material resource. This is the major point here, because ownership of material as well as human resource lies with the society. Society owns it, and these corporates, they are using these resources that belong to society. So it is the moral responsibility of these corporates to give it back to the society. So at the end of the day, ये moral responsibility बनती है कि वो society को वापस देके जाएं. This is the major point here. Okay, this is the major point, that you give it back to the society. And that's the most important thing. Even this is linked with the reputation of the corporates as well. Even this is the reputation of the corporates as well, because if they are doing good to the society, definitely it will bring good name to them. People will respect them, and it is a business tactic as well. They will be considered as more reliable. Okay, तो society ये समझेगी कि they are more reliable, they are more responsible. Let's buy the product from this particular company, let's buy the product belonging to this particular brand. So this is also what you need to understand. ये भी आपको थोड़ा समझना पड़ेगा. चलिए, So this is what we learn from N.R. Narayan Murthy, and the N.R. Narayan Murthy, he stood by his values. Okay, he stood by his values. There was this incident when he was about to start Infosys. So the first initial computers that Infosys procured, matlab these were imported from abroad, they got stuck in custom department. तो इनिशियली आप नई कंपनी बना रहे हो और आपके पहले कंप्यूटर्स जो हैं वो कस्टम डिपार्टमेंट में अटक जाएं, दे वर नॉट गिवन द कस्टम क्लियरेंस इनिशियली. बट एनआर नारायण मूर्ति didn't pay bribe at that time and waited for 6 to 8 months for the clearance. Later on the company was started. So it is really very important that we stood by our values, because in the long run those values are going to benefit you. लॉन्ग रन में वो वैल्यूज ही हैं जो आपको बेनिफिट देती हैं. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. So let's look into this editorial, this particular newspaper, what exactly is there in it. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, this is what we are getting from the front page. Take immediate action against the hate speech. This is what Supreme Court of India is saying. Okay, now Supreme Court is saying that don't wait for a complaint to be filed, and warns that any hesitation to comply with the direction will attract contempt of court proceeding against the officers. Okay, so they are asking the executive to take action against hate speech. Now the point is this: we have not defined what is hate speech. कहीं पे कुछ डिफाइन ही नहीं है कि ये हेट स्पीच होती क्या है. Now, as you are not defining it, what is hate speech, how will you fight against it? How will you fight? It is as simple as that. The fight is going to be difficult because you are not defining it. What exactly is the hate speech? तो पता कैसे लगेगा कि हेट स्पीच क्या है? जिससे लड़ना है उसके बारे में मालूम ही नहीं है, कोई डेफिनेशन ही नहीं है. You need to have some single arrangement. You need to have some single arrangement where you define what is hate speech, and later on you can continue your fight. बाद में आप अपनी fight continue कर सकते हो. ठीक है? This is really very critical. This is really very critical because in the present time this hate speech is troubling. Hate speech is a major issue because hate speech is one of the reason which is dividing the societies. And we have observed it that primarily during the election time, politicians, they go for these hate speech and they target the other community. दूसरी कम्युनिटी को वो टारगेट करना शुरू कर देते हैं, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज प्रॉब्लमैटिक. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड at present if we work upon what do we have, आज की डेट में क्या है हेट स्पीच. ओके, सो लीगली वी डोंट हैव एनी डेफिनेशन, बट 267th रिपोर्ट ऑफ लॉ कमीशन comes out with some definition. तो लॉ कमीशन ने अपनी तरफ से कोशिश की है हेट स्पीच को डिफाइन करने की. इट स्टेटेड दैट an incitement to hatred, primarily against group of individuals, in terms of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religious belief, that will be considered as hate speech. Now this is the definition that law commission has given. Till now it has not been incorporated in the statute. Law में अभी तक कानूनी रूप से इसको नहीं डिफाइन किया गया है. There is another statistics that is there for you. National Crime Record Bureau, NCRB data, okay, it says that if you compare, in 2014 there were only 323 cases that were registered regarding hate speech, but in 2020, in 6 years, it increased to 1804. So it means that incidents as well as the cases related to hate speech is primarily increasing. then we don't have a specific law for hate speech. That's the problematic part. We don't have specific law for hate speech. हेट स्पीच के लिए स्पेसिफिक लॉ नहीं है हमारे पास. There are certain provisions that are existing. Indirectly, those provisions are addressing the hate speech. So, like you have section 295A of Indian Penal Code. This is one section which somehow addresses like where you are, saying something, insulting the group, insulting the religious group, religious sentiment, hurting religious sentiment. This is the provision that is there. और आपको 3 साल की सजा भी हो सकती है. It is under section 295A of Indian Penal Code. ठीक है जी. अब यही बात है कि आप स्पेसिफिकली कोई कानून नहीं लेके आए हो. सिस्टम तो थोड़ा बहुत एग्जिस्ट करता है हमारे यहाँ पे, ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल जीरो है. दिस इज व्हाट इज एग्जिस्टिंग, बट द वे इंसिडेंट्स रिलेटेड टू हेट स्पीच आर इंक्रीजिंग, वी नीड टू हैव दैट स्पेसिफिक लॉ. एक डेडिकेटेड कानून की वहां आपको जरूरत है. दिस इज व्हाट द मेजर फोकस इज अबाउट. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट द मेजर फोकस इज अबाउट. Now, Vicky Gautam Yadav is asking, sir, if leader make promise for development of a particular religion, culture, is it hate speech? No, it is not. Hate speech is primarily saying, issuing some derogatory statement against religion. कुछ भी आप अगर derogatory बोलते हो, demean करते हो दूसरे religion को, दूसरी community को, then it's a hate speech. The problem is that till the time we are not having a single definition, it is quite confusing which is to be considered as hate speech and which is not. Okay, तो थोड़ा confusion इस बात का हो जाता है कि किसको hate speech मानेंगे, किसको नहीं मानेंगे. This is what you need to understand. ये समझना जरूरी है. So we'll move to the next news. Next news is related to our critically endangered great Indian bustard now migrating to Pakistan. Because one of the Pakistani photographer, okay, he like photographed some of the great Indian bustard in Pakistan. Now it is being considered that 3 of them they might have migrated to Pakistan. 3 जो है वो शायद migrate करके पाकिस्तान चले गए होंगे. Okay, and this great Indian bustard, it can fly, though not at a very high, you can say height, but it can still fly. थोड़ा बहुत तो ये fly भी कर सकता है. तो क्या पता border पार कर गया हो. It is quite possible. Okay, now here are some facts that are associated with great Indian bustard. Great Indian bustard, it's a state bird of Rajasthan. Okay, is considered India's most critically endangered bird. There you can say number is declining due to multiple issues. उसका great Indian bustard का जो number है वो कम होता जा रहा है, और primarily anthropogenic activities are somehow responsible. कुछ हद तक ह्यूमन बीइंग्स जो हैं इस चीज के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं. ओके, एंड द पॉइंट इज दिस, इन इंडिया एफर्ट इज ऑलरेडी ऑन, बट उतने प्रॉमिसिंग अभी रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहे हैं. बट स्टिल वी आर ट्राइंग आवर लेवल बेस्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज. ओके, सो हियर आर सम फैक्ट्स दैट यू शुड नो हियर. नाउ प्राइमरली दिस ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड, इट इज अ ग्रासलैंड स्पीसीज. ओके, ज्यादातर ग्रासलैंड एरिया के अंदर जो है ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड रहना पसंद करता है. एंड इन इंडिया इफ यू सी, देयर पॉपुलेशन इज मोस्टली कन्फाइंड टू राजस्थान एंड गुजरात. ठीक है जी, वहां पे ज्यादातर ये मिलते हैं. थोड़ा बहुत कभी कभी महाराष्ट्र, कर्नाटक, आंध्रा में पहले कभी मिलते होंगे, आज की डेट में नहीं है एट प्रेजेंट. ठीक है, दिस इज द पॉइंट. नाउ द पॉइंट इज दिस, व्हाट आर द थ्रेट्स दैट ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड हैज एट प्रेजेंट. सो वन ऑफ द थ्रेट इज दिस कोलिजन विद द पावर ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस. जो पावर ट्रांसमिशन लाइन होती है उसके साथ ये कोलाइड कर जाते हैं, इलेक्ट्रोक्यूशन हो जाता है इनका. ओके, करंट लग जाता है इनको. दिस इज वन ऑफ द रीजन. नाउ एज आई टोल्ड यू, दे कैन नॉट फ्लाई एट अ, यू कैन से एट लार्जर हाइट. बड़ी हाइट पे नहीं फ्लाई कर सकते, थोड़ा बहुत फ्लाई करते हैं और जाके तार में घुस जाते हैं. ठीक है, ये सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. देन हंटिंग इज ऑल्सो डन. हंटिंग ने ही सारा काम खराब किया है मेजरली. ओके, एंड हंटिंग नो डाउट इन इंडिया इट इज स्टॉप्ड, बट इन पाकिस्तान इट इज स्टिल बीइंग अलाउड. इंडिया के अंदर तो नहीं होती हंटिंग इतनी, लेकिन पाकिस्तान में अभी भी हंटिंग हो जाती है कभी कभी. Okay. Then habitat loss. Now primarily this is due to the you can say anthropogenic activity. So habitat loss तो इनका हो ही रहा है, मतलब ये सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. एग्रीकल्चर को एक्सपेंड करने के लिए जो ग्रास लैंड्स है, दे वर कन्वर्टेड इनटू एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड्स, एंड दिस इज द सिनेरियो दैट वी हैव हियर. And primarily they are located in Desert National Park, which is situated in जैसलमेर and बाड़मेर. तो जैसलमेर और बाड़मेर के एरिया के अंदर प्राइमरीली ये इनको पाया जाता है. ठीक है जी. Now here is the prelims 2020 question in front of you. Just try to attempt this particular question. इस क्वेश्चन को अटेम्प्ट करने की कोशिश कीजिए. Just try to attempt it. What's the correct answer according to you? Okay. कोशिश कीजिए इसका सही आंसर क्या होगा. So first statement says that like it is regarding reference to India's desert national park. Which of the following statement are correct? First statement says that it spreads over two districts. It spreads over two districts. There is no human habitation inside the park. पार्क के अंदर कोई ह्यूमन हैबिटेशन नहीं है. Then it is saying it is one of the natural habitat of great Indian bustard. One of the natural habitat of great Indian bustard. Okay. So this is quite correct. One of the natural habitat तो है great Indian bustard का, तो थर्ड ऑप्शन तो बिल्कुल सही हो गया यहाँ पे. Okay. Then it is saying that there is no human habitation inside the park. Now this desert national park, it is spreading over two district. ये दो डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर स्प्रेड हुआ है. So you tell me one thing, is it possible that there will be no human settlement inside that park? So primarily this is the reason why this statement appears to be wrong, and 1 and 3 is the right. So C is the right answer. C इसका आंसर जो है वो सही है. So this is how you can say UPSC is asking these type of questions. Now Banita Sharma is asking, sir, kindly explain anthropologist activity. It is not anthropologist activity, it is anthropogenic activity. Anthropogenic activity के मामले में की बात करें कि एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड को आपको बढ़ाना है. ओके. आपको एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड बढ़ाना है, ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हो रही है, तो आप क्या करोगे, इनके ग्रास लैंड को एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड में कन्वर्ट कर लोगे. ठीक है, वहां पे खेती करना शुरू कर दोगे, तो इट विल बी प्रॉब्लमेटिक, जबरदस्ती की खेती. देन अदर एंथ्रोपोजेनिक एक्टिविटी मीन्स दैट देयर विल बी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, देयर विल बी एक्टिविटी ऑफ ट्रक्स, मूवमेंट ऑफ ह्यूमंस, एंड टूरिज्म इज ऑल्सो यू कैन से इट विच इज डिस्टर्बिंग द हैबिटेट ऑफ दिस बर्ड. ओके, तो टूरिज्म भी है वहां पे और वो भी प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करता है कहीं ना कहीं. सो दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू लिव इन अ नेचुरल एनवायरमेंट. उनका जो नेचुरल हैबिटेट है वो डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है ह्यूमंस की एक्टिविटी से, इसलिए इसे एंथ्रोपोजेनिक एक्टिविटी बोल देते हैं. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. सो हियर वी हैव दिस एडिटोरियल which is talking about an online fight where children needs to be saved. Okay, so right now we know that there are a lot of things that are being done in cyber world. So cyber bullying की बात करें तो वो भी होता है. Okay, child pornography, that is also you can say one of the major problem here. So these type of issues are existing in the cyber world and which is impacting the mental health of children. तो कहीं ना कहीं बच्चों की mental health यहाँ पे impact होती है. Now in this scenario where cyber world is damaging the children of this country, so it is important that some effort needs to be done, and CBI did carry out certain operations, certain activities to prevent this particular child abuse. और इसी की अगर हम बात करें तो here are some you can say prelims related content that you should note down. आपको prelims related कुछ एक information है जो मिल रही है. So basically CBI conducted searches across states and union territory as part of Megh Chakra. Now it is the operation of CBI, Operation Megh Chakra, which is primarily against you can say identifying or finding the areas, finding the individuals who are indulged in you can say who are indulged in circulation of child related porn. तो चाइल्ड पोर्नोग्राफी को जो सर्कुलेट करते हैं उनको पकड़ने के लिए सीबीआई ने ये इस टाइप का ऑपरेशन चलाया, दैट इज ऑपरेशन मेघ चक्र. ठीक है जी. So they are targeting it, and it is important that these criminals need to be taken to the task. Similarly, in 2021, a similar exercise codenamed Operation Carbon was launched by CBI, with many being booked under IT Act 2000. Okay, many being booked under IT Act 2000, and under this as well, CBI took some action, specifically those who are viewing adult pornography, who are viewing means viewing child pornography. Okay, जो child pornography देख रहे हैं उनको भी पकड़ने के लिए CBI ने एक ऑपरेशन चलाया है. Now, even the Supreme Court is quite serious about it, and Supreme Court has given instructions that it is the responsibility of the service provider to remove this type of content. So whatever illegal content that is there on internet, that content needs to be removed. उस content को आपको हर हालत में remove करना है. This is what Supreme Court has instructed. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियरली ये बताया कि आपको इसे जो है वो रिमूव करना है. ठीक है जी, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर को. Ministry of Home Affairs has launched National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal, okay, where you can report incidents related to child pornography, rape, gang rape related things, जहाँ पे आप जाके इसे रिपोर्टिंग कर सकते हो. तो see, this online portal is also available now. Then this, like, there is a facility that was developed, and Supreme Court instructions also came into picture. It was regarding, you can say, that NGOs and civil society are also now taking part in it. तो कहीं ना कहीं NGOs और civil society जो है वो भी इस चीज को लेके काफी सीरियस है, and they are taking part. Okay, they are taking part in it, and there is an NGO called Prajwala. Prajwala is the Hyderabad based NGO, and that NGO did, you can say, petitioned things related to child pornography and this particular crime. So Supreme Court again came out with the instructions. So that's the point here. So we'll move to the next editorial. Next editorial is regarding From the Great Hall, a focus on PLA. So here they are talking about that, like, what's the nature of PLA? Chinese army का nature क्या है? See, you need to understand, like, Chinese army that we have, okay, PLA, is primarily associated with the Communist Party of China. So that army is not the army of the nation. The term PLA is People's Liberation Army. So that army is not the army of a nation. Rather, that army belongs to a communist party. That's the scenario. Means that that army is somehow having allegiance to the Communist Party of China. And this is the point here. Now, you need to understand one thing here. Like, Chinese president at present, Xi Jinping, is having major control over PLA. कहीं ना कहीं उनका होल्ड जो है, okay, his hold has increased significantly because he has worked upon removing all the, you can say, people who were in disagreement to Mr. Xi Jinping. तो मिस्टर जी जिनपिंग के साथ जिन लोगों का भी डिसएग्रीमेंट था उनको जो है जी जिनपिंग ने धीरे धीरे करके जो है अपने रास्ते से हटा दिया है. एंड राइट नाउ द जनरल्स दैट आर देयर इन पीएलए, दे आर क्वाइट, यू कैन से, क्लोज टू मिस्टर जी जिनपिंग, एंड ही इज keeping his hand quite tight. Okay, and it is also being said that his status might have gone beyond to Mao Zedong, or at least equivalent to Mao Zedong. The respect that he is commanding, तो कहीं ना कहीं माओ जेडोंग जितना उनका होल्ड आ गया है. Okay, this is what is being said. So what we can draw out of it is this, that PLA is still going to remain aggressive, okay, because regularly they are working on their training part, इनकी ट्रेनिंग वगैरह चल रही है. So we should also be prepared for this development. ये एक चैलेंज है जिसके साथ हमें डील करना है. ठीक है जी. So we'll move to the next news. Next news is regarding Supreme Court to examine rising attacks on doctors by disgruntled relatives. So ऐसा बहुत बार हो रहा है कि relatives जो हैं वो आके डॉक्टर को मारपीट देते हैं. Okay, but why it is happening? See, as their patient is dying, इनका patient अगर मर जाता है, then very it is quite obvious that the family members they are emotionally charged. Okay, काफी वो emotionally charged होते हैं, and this is the scenario. Now when they are emotionally charged, somehow they end up crossing the limits, और कहीं ना कहीं इसी बात से है कि वो अपने लिमिट्स को क्रॉस कर देते हैं, and it is problematic. Okay, that's the problematic part. Now you need to understand one thing here. इतना सब कुछ हो रहा है, मेन गड़बड़ कहाँ हो रही है? वेयर इज द प्रॉब्लम? Where is the problem? Okay, so you need to understand earlier the relationship that patient and doctor that was having, okay, जो उनका relationship था, that was a relationship of trust, respect. वो relationship एक trust और एक respect का था. But in the present time एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग कमर्शियलाइज्ड. आज की डेट में तो हर चीज कमर्शियलाइज होती जा रही है. एज थिंग्स आर बीइंग कमर्शियलाइज्ड, दैट्स द यू कैन से सैड स्टोरी. सारी गड़बड़ इसकी वजह से है, बिकॉज टुडे इट्स अ रिलेशनशिप ऑफ कस्टमर एंड क्लाइंट. डॉक्टर इज अ सर्विस प्रोवाइडर एंड ही इज हैविंग अ कस्टमर. ओके, तो क्लाइंट और कस्टमर का आज की डेट में ऑपरेशन ये कहीं ना कहीं बन गया है, रिलेशन जो है ये बन